What's up everybody, this is Vanquish X, and today I'll be bringing you guys my breakdown of the Star Wars The Last Jedi teaser trailer, and just break the trailer into the pieces that I think are most important, and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on them, and my overall theories of what's happening in the trailer, and what might happen in the movie. So let's just jump straight into it, and the trailer opens with Rey being in a panicked state. She's sweating, panting, probably getting put through her paces by being trained by Luke, or I'm thinking she's just had another Force vision, as behind her on the cliff face, there seems to be an opening, like an opening to a cave, so I'm guessing she'll go in there and have a much more powerful, much clearer Force vision, as they're on the island where the Force apparently originated or came from. So I'm going to guess having a Force vision there would make them a lot more powerful and take a bigger toll on your body and your mind. Plus she had a similar reaction when she touched Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber in The Force Awakens, so that makes me believe she's going to have another Force vision, and there's even more hints throughout the trailer which talk about that, so I'll talk about that in a bit. And then we get some more shots of Rey getting trained, and this shot is one that really intrigues me, as we see Rey in her training gear looking out into the ocean of Acto, which is the planet that Luke's been hiding on for so many years. And this shot intrigues me because it's making me believe that this might be leading up to her fight with a giant sea creature. Yeah, you heard that right, a giant sea creature. If you haven't been keeping up to date with news or rumours about The Last Jedi, there's a rumour going around that Rey will fight a giant force-wielding sea creature. And it's intriguing me because I'm making me think that they're actually going to do it. They're actually going to have a giant sea creature that can use the Force, probably just fling Rey around like she's nothing, and maybe move the island and make me go, they're actually going to do it. They're actually going to have this crazy thing in a Star Wars movie. It just make my head go everywhere going, why is it there? Why does she have to fight it? Does Luke tell her to kill it to prove herself? Does it attack the island and she has to get rid of it? It's just so many questions it's answering and make me think they're going to have this new, pretty crazy thing in a Star Wars movie, if they even go for that. But this shot just really intrigues me because it makes me believe they're actually going to do it. Moving on, we get a shot of Leia in front of some kind of control panel looking at a map, and I'm guessing this is the same map from The Force Awakens, and they're just studying the thing to maybe pinpoint the exact location of Luke, as only Rey went there besides Chewie, but Chewie would have flew away and left her alone there with Luke to get trained. So maybe they're trying to find the exact location of him in case they need him for something, or he wants them to come get them or whatever, or they're just thinking about what to do with the thing. How do they protect this location so the First Order can't get it and go down there and kill Luke and Rey, or capturing them and stop this new Jedi warrior or Force user being trained. So they're just trying to figure out what to do with the thing. We then see Kylo Ren's helmet completely destroyed, lying in pieces, and you can see some smoke coming out of the eye area, which makes me think that it has been cut, most likely by a lightsaber. Was it his own? Did he decide, I don't need to hide behind this anymore, I want to be my own thing and get away from being this Darth Vader worshipper than I am, and just took his lightsaber and hacked it into pieces? Or was he attacked? Did someone else with a lightsaber get up to him and try and take him out and only cut the helmet off his head? And who else has a lightsaber in this movie? Because if it isn't Rey or Luke, is there more Jedi out there, more Force users? There's a lot that could be happening with this scene with his helmet being destroyed. Plus this works with rumours out there that he will be getting a new look, meaning a new costume and helmet. So this helmet being completely destroyed, or him just going, oh, I want this new one now, slice, and just getting rid of it from this newer and cooler helmet. And I'm just really excited to see where they're going to take the character and how they're going to update his look, because I think he looks awesome anyway. Now, this is when the trailer got really interesting for me and probably a lot of you out there, is that because we can see a shelf with some books on it, surrounded by what looks like tree bark. It's like they're inside a giant tree, and then someone's hand comes along and places itself upon one of these books, and I'm going to guess that this is Luke's hand because it's a right hand and there's a glove on it, and Luke uses a glove to cover his robotic hand. So I'm guessing throughout his travels and him being on his own, he finds these books, and you can see that this one here has a Jedi Order logo on it. Now, we know from comics and different things from within the Star Wars universe that Luke has been searching for ancient Jedi artifacts and teachings of the Force just to compile a big knowledge of things, just a big data bank. So maybe this is something he finds, and this could be the first version or the pure version of the Jedi Code, or something showing him then the way it has been with the split with the Jedi and the Sith, the light side and the dark side. Was it what the Force started out as or was intended for? Maybe Luke discovers that what he, Anakin, and so many others were taught was a lie or a twisted version of the truth, just to keep this war between the sides going, and that there is something better out there and in between, a balance between the Force, kind of like a grey area or a grey Jedi if you will, like Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars Rebels, where there are people who use the light side and the dark side of the Force and are like a grey Jedi. So maybe he wants to go towards that or something better than that, and the trailer even hints to this, as during these shots there's a voiceover of Luke asking Rey what does she see, and Rey says light, darkness, a balance, and Luke interrupts this by saying it's so much bigger. So he has definitely found something telling him that they need to be balanced, the balance that they've been talking about for 7 goddamn movies, and use both sides of the Force and create a new order of Force users that could eventually take the galaxy to peace. And we look forward to seeing what happens to Luke, what made him come to this conclusion, what has he found throughout his travels that tells him they have to be something more, they have to stop killing each other over nothing and become a balance, which maybe the Force started out as. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they take that, where him and Rey take this new order of Force users to. It's going to be quite fun to see how that all happens. Next up is a shot of some B-Wings. Well, I think they're called B-Wings, and they look pretty shittily made. Looks like they've just been put together by any random scrap that's been lying around, and these B-Wings are seen flying towards something. Now, this shot takes place on the new planet that we now know is called CRAIT, and it's cool and great to finally get a look at this planet and see what we're dealing with, and we can see it's a desert-like planet with sand that changes colour when it gets touched. As we can see the B-Wings scraping a line through the sand, there's a red fog or mist that gets created. I think that's a really cool and kind of unique to look for a planet in the Star Wars universe, and we can tell these ships are flying towards something as we can see AT-ATs in the distance. So maybe these are the indigenous people of the planet that have made these ships to stop the First Order from invading their home planet for whatever reason that the First Order are doing so. Finn eventually shows up in this trailer, and we can see that he is in some kind of pod, and it might be the new version of the Bacta tanks, you know, the big tubes they get put into with a water substance to heal their wounds, so we can tell that he is still healing after the whole Kylo Ren incident. But we know he will be back in action, as behind the scenes pictures have shown him walking around alive and well and ready to kick ass again, and we know that he has a kind of secret mission with a new character Rose, so he'll eventually come back and get on with the mission with whatever that is, maybe getting back into the First Order to find stuff, don't really know, but he's going to go off with Rose and do his own thing again, because Finn is really cool and he's good at just doing anything they ask of him, so it'll be great to see him kicking some ass again. We then have Poe Dameron running through a station as it just starts to fall apart. There's sparks everywhere and just BB-8 spinning like absolute hell towards their X-Wing, which explodes. Again, and this is most likely the rebellion base we saw in The Force Awakens, and maybe the First Order is attacking it, as we have been told that the First Order aren't pulling their punches anymore. They've decided, screw it, let's just take the galaxy, no more hiding or just plotting to do it or trying to do it secretly, let's just go balls to the wall, guns blazing and getting this done. So maybe they find the location of the base and just bomb the shit out of it to end the rebels once and for all. And this could also be connected to this blockade of ships that you can see now that are shooting at and trying to stop TIE fighters from getting through to deal more damage. So it looks like a big space battle was going to happen at the beginning or a middle section of the movie to protect the base, and of course these shots might not be connected at all in the way trailers are nowadays, but a big base attack when the rebels getting attacked by the First Order is most likely. We then see Rey running towards something with that classic blue lightsaber in tow, and it still looks like she's on that island in a similar setting. It's still night time, so it's similar to that ocean shot, so if the big monster fight happens, I'm going to guess this is just her running towards it to fight it and try and kill it for whatever reason, or it could be a test fight with Luke. Maybe he's over in the distance a little bit, and she's just running towards him to have a sparring fight so you can see how powerful she is and how much training she is going to need. Kylo Ren, the edgelord of these new Star Wars movies, makes his appearance felt in this trailer, looking way better off than the last time we saw him. That scar's healed really nicely, hasn't it? Which is a thing that's really bugging me, because they've completely messed up the placement. The scar never touched or went across his eye. The scar went from his cheek to the middle of his nose into the middle of his forehead. So didn't they just forget and had a little brain fart and stuck it wherever they thought was right? Which I really hope they haven't, because they own The Force Awakens. It'll be so easy for them to go through the footage, or if they just decided Adam Driver's face needs to be kept nice for the audience and just try to make the scar look more like Anakin's scar to make him more of the Darth Vader fanboy than he already was. It just really annoys me, because I think the scar would have made him look badass, be a defining feature for the character, just make him look way more menacing, especially when the red of his saber would have bounced off it. It just really bugs me, because it would have been awesome. But anyway, rant about that over. As for the shot in general, I don't think Rey's running towards him, as the backgrounds are completely different, and he seems to be interrogating someone with the way he's turning that lightsaber and that awesome cross-guard lightsaber. Looks like he's interrogating someone, or has he finally got to Luke and this is before their fight where he's just stuck it in his face going, I'm going to beat you now, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to finish Darth Vader's stuff, yada yada yada, and before they start fighting in the movie, if they even fight in this film. This shot right here is by far the best shot of the whole trailer for me, as it looks like we're finally going to get some more backstory on why Luke had gone into exile. Now we know he trained Ben Solo, who later killed all of his students of the Knights of Ren and destroyed the temple, but to know we're hopefully going to get to see it and get more insight as to what broke Luke, what made him blame himself and disappear for so many years. Maybe he sensed the dark side in Ben, but ignored it when everything happened. He was like, oh god, why didn't I deal with this when I could feel it, when I knew it was going to happen? And this shot also confirms that there will be another Force vision, as Star Wars doesn't do flashbacks, and we have seen this shot before, and this is before he puts his hand on top of R2-D2's head, so we've seen this, so yeah, just like double confirm she's going to have a much clearer one, and just get more backstory on this, which I think is great. I think it's great we're going to get more of this, and see exactly what happened with Luke and Kylo Ren and all that stuff all those years ago. We then see a completely different wreckage, which looks like some sort of base with the type of floor that's in the shot and the archway and all the lights, so maybe this is the same rebel base attack that we saw before, and we can see some First Order stormtroopers in there, and most importantly, Captain Phasma in the middle leading them, so she's alive. Captain Phasma somehow got away from Starkiller base exploding and getting turned into space rubble, and hopefully we see a lot more of her in this movie, because she was talked about and hyped up about being a standout character from The Force Awakens and being the new badass of the series, but she did literally fuck all in The Force Awakens. She just kind of sat around, so hopefully Phasma lives up to it this time and actually does some cool stuff and becomes a badass character that they spoke about. Plus the actress that plays her is amazing, and more of her is just great for me because she does such a good job in this role, so hopefully she does much better in this movie. And finally, we get to the last shot of the trailer showing Luke walking out of what looks like a giant tree, which looks similar to the stuff encasing the book, so maybe Luke owns these and brought them to this island. And this is when he says the words, "I only know one truth, it's time for the Jedi to end." And this shows they're definitely going towards a balanced force, to be a grey Jedi thing or something better than that, and to create a new order and maybe take the galaxy to a time of peace and stop this war of dark side and light side, Jedi and Sith going on. But hearing that line in Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker voice that we haven't heard on the big screen for so many years was great, and that line was so powerful and just a very cool thing to set up this movie, and just shows they're going to open the doors from this universe and maybe begin to change it, begin to change what we know about it, Jedi and Sith, and go towards more of a balanced thing and bringing stuff in from the books and the TV shows and maybe bring a balance to the Force that they've been yapping about since episode 1. And I'm just really excited to see how that progresses throughout this film and the rest of the series into episode 9, and how to go about making a Grey Jedi society or something better than that, and to get this balance and to change what we've known about the universe of Star Wars for so long, and how him and Rey are going to go about creating this new order, what it is it Grey Jedi or something higher, and just how this is all going to progress throughout this film. I just really can't wait to see where all that happens. I just with everything in this trailer, new Force visions, more backstory, the First Order, the Rebels, Finn, Poe, Rey, just everything that's going on, just what's going to happen and how creating this balance and getting rid of the Jedi is going to happen. I just can't wait to see how it all goes down. So I'm going to leave this breakdown here, guys. So if you liked the video, rock it in a like button, leave a comment down below, tell me your thoughts on the trailer. Did you like it, not like it, do you like where it's going, and what some of your theories are? Leave that all down below and I'll talk to you guys about it. And also don't forget to subscribe, as it does really help me out, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching and for your support. I love you guys, and stay tuned for the next video.